We're back here on the John Fourcade Show. John, Saints, like the 31 other teams in the National Football League, getting ready for the offseason, looking at the money situations. Everybody makes a big deal. The Saints got $29 million, and they got 20 other teams in the NFL with more cap space than them. The Titans got almost $80 million. So how you spend your money, it's not so much what you have sometimes, but how you spend it. And you see with the Cowboys right now, and every year they in this spot where they got to make some maneuvers to get above that salary cap. And then you see right off the bat, the Giants with $31 million, the Saints with 30, the Falcons with $26 million. That you don't want to see because, right now, if I'm a free agent and I got a choice between Atlanta and New Orleans, guess where I'm going?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know where I'm going to hitch my wagon, but with around $29 to $30 million, John, I think the Saints will have enough maneuvering room to go out and address some needs. The big question mark I always say is, it's not how much money you have to a certain extent, but who you bringing in.
Right.
And then last year, I thought, for the first time in a long time, they did a pretty good job in the free agency part with Craig Robertson, who they got in, kind of a bargain basement type guy. Nick Fairley comes in. Now, he ain't bargain basement no more, but you were able to bring him in at a good price, and yet you overspent on a guy that doesn't fit here in Kobe Fleener.
I totally agree with that, and not just the fact that you brought in Fleener, you brought in another linebacker who didn't even make it through the half the season.
James Laurinaitis.
Yeah, so there's some hits and there's some misses, and we all know this is the only team that's going to happen to, Mike. You know as well as I do. You're going to hit on some, you're going to miss on some, but it depends on what positions you're hitting and missing on, especially the tight end position. You want to throw the ball with Drew Brees. He uses his tight end. You brought a guy in like this, you give him all this money, and he's got no numbers to produce. So the word is maybe they'll go draft a tight end and maybe
wouldn't
fade
be surprised.
this guy. But he
was an Ole Miss Rebel.
Right. Hey, that'd be an awesome pick. But you look at it, what are they going to do with the defensive line position? The guy wants $11 million. I don't see it happening.
There's no way.
There is you got a cap figure. Like you said, some teams are getting $70, $80 million worth of cap space. That's only because the cap went up this year and they're giving more money into it. So you're still at the bottom of the list when it comes to giving out money to certain players. You got to still be, even though it's $30 million, Mike, that $30 million can go with two players, as well as I do, and there goes all your money. So you got to be smart when you're giving this money away.
Another thing, too, is at the linebacker position, because that hole with no James Laurinaitis, Stephon Anthony not working out for you, you got to address that. And I think with Mike Nolan, he wants a veteran linebacker group.
All right, here's my take on that. Anthony didn't play very bad. He didn't play bad as a rookie in the middle. He didn't play great, but he didn't play bad for you. Why not give him another shot to get back in the middle?
That's my shot.
Bring him back in the middle. You got nothing to lose with the man. He's on your roster. He's under contract. Bring him in. Broke a rookie record for the Saints in tackles at middle linebacker. You put him on the outside, he's not comfortable there. You put him back where he belongs. Now, if he falls and plays bad this year, you can say, I told you so. But give the guy an opportunity. But you're right, though. You better bring in a veteran linebacker in case this guy doesn't work out for you.
Plural.
Yeah, linebackers. But they still need help. I'll tell you, Mike, they need help at pass rushing. They got to have a linebacker slash. I'm not talking about a guy who put his hands down. That's not what the Saints need. You don't get good guys making sacks with their hands down. You want them standing up. Find you someone who can stand up, rush the quarterback, and maybe drop a little bit. And there's a few guys in the draft you can go after. And there are guys out there right now. You got someone you can deal with, but you got to show up the defensive line as a rushing line and a linebacker. And then you can go worry about your secondary.
And the secondary also.
Yes.
We're going to take a look at some of the players and their kind of cap cost on what they're going to hit on the Saints this year. And again, Drew Brees, $19 million. Cameron Jordan, $12. Now here's the tripwire. Jarvis Bird at $11.7 million. I ain't paying that.
No.
Either he takes a pay cut or he's not back on this football team. Teron Armstead, who's been injured, but really was a top flight left tackle at 11.5. Kobe Fleener, $7.5 million. That's what it's costing you. Max Unger, he's worth every penny of that 7.4. Kenny Vaccaro is going to be an interesting spot because this is the final year of that contract at $5.7 million. Mark Ingram, a little over $5 million. Zach Strief, a little over $5 million. And Thomas Morstead, the punter, at $4.7. Listen, I'm a big Morstead guy, but I don't know about $4.7 million on a punter.
It becomes now a situation when you're getting on a team for so many years and your finances are raising and you don't play as much. And that is a utility type guy, a punter, a kicker, a special teams guy, and you're killing him with the finances. And he's one of the better punters in the league. They feel like they can go and get another punter and do just as well as he has for way less than what he has. But now here's the thing too, Mike. They could take some of these guys' contracts and extend the years, rework it, and extend the years. That's one way of going about it. That's how they've done it in the past to get under the salary cap, and then you get yourself in trouble down the road. But some of these guys, I don't see them being here. Some of the guys you might be able to tweak a little bit to extend them in years and then take less money. We will see, but that's why I sit here next to you and let the other guys handle all the finances.
Cheris Bird jumps out at me because of an $11.7 million, a lot of money. And either he takes a pay cut or you got to say, hey, listen, it hasn't been great. You're going to have to go somewhere else.
I'm thinking it's going to be go somewhere else. I can't see him. He's not going to want to take a pay cut. If he figures, hey, I'm going to make some of this money no matter where I go. Maybe I'll go to a better club, maybe a team that's looking for me to play. Maybe I'll take less money, but I'm on a contending type team. We shall see, but I just can't see the Saints saying, okay, we'll take you back $11.7 million. When we got a couple other guys who are playing better. This guy hasn't played that well for the Saints in the years he's been here.
Come on, you didn't spend a second-round pick on Von Bell for him to watch.
Right.
You know that's why you picked him to eventually take his spot. I think the other position is certainly Vaccaro, who you spent a first-round pick on, I thought was having maybe his best season ever as a Saint. Then he gets suspended for the final 4 games of the season. This is the final year of his contract, so that $30 million that you got, you're going to have to spend some of it on him to extend his contract.
That's something you got to look at right there. And also, it's a touch and go with him. If he gets trouble for anything next season, he could be suspended for a whole year. Now you're out that money, you're out that player. Do you rework his contract? And if he doesn't want to bite on it, then you go ahead. Look, there's enough DBs out there you can go after and get, Mike. You know as well, there's a lot of DBs like there's a lot of receivers. Might not be first-round picks, whatever it may be. You can find some players to come in there. And the Saints use a lot of 3 DBs as safeties, and I'm not sold on that. I think Vaccaro might be on the way out.
Only thing with Kenny is because the Saints use so much 3 safety alignments, he's playing almost like a linebacker today.
Right.
He fits into what Dennis Allen does very well defensively, and certainly, again, the big red elephant in the room, what will happen after this year with Drew Brees. We'll be back with more of the John Fourcade Show, sponsored each week by Veterans Ford.